Good morning. This is Neil Spate, editor of Thurrock Nub News, live in Tilbury, where this morning many people from the town are going to say their final farewell to Peter Hewitt, MBE, a man commonly known as Mr. Tilbury. I knew Peter. I actually succeeded him as chairman for a brief period of time of the Tilbury Riverside project. And I know quite a few of the people that are here on the streets of the Civic Square are going to say a final farewell as he passes by this morning. I'm going to have a wander around now and possibly have a word with some people about Peter and share with you this final moment of Mr. Tilbury in Tilbury. And could I just have a word? If you don't mind, if you just... obviously, it's a special day, really, to say farewell to Peter. This is Annie O'Brien, who runs the Tilbury Riverside project and worked very closely for many years. Thoughts of Peter?
Well, every time I think of Peter, I just think of him saying to me, "I'm all the better for seeing you." And he always cheered me. He had a smile on his face, and I'm going to miss him so much. He was so positive about Tilbury at the time.
Yeah, I mean, he really did have that ethos of Tilbury is a special place. A lot of people run Tilbury down. He fought passionately against that.
He did, and he wanted the dream of the Christmas lights, which come true, and they're still going up every year, and they will continue to do so in East memory as well.
That's great to hear. That's absolutely lovely. I shall wander along and get ready. I understand the cortege has left, or will be leaving shortly, and will be passing by. Coming around, there's another familiar face for me, Susan Yates, chairman of the local history society, very well known. Obviously knew Peter as well. Your thoughts of the gentleman?
Oh, great bloke, great bloke. He was probably one of the best things that ever happened to Tilbury. And whenever I think of Peter, I told Annie recently, I think of that record, The Laughing Policeman. And that is Peter to a T. I think it sums him up.
Yeah.
He's a great bloke. He's done so much for Tilbury. And I'm sure there'll be some sort of permanent memorial to him.
Yeah.
We'll think of something.
Well, I think the love that the town has got for him is a memorial, but...
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Great love have no man than Tilbury's got for Peter.
Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah.
Lovely. I shall let you move on and get ready as well, and I shall wander around and see various people here. And here's a very familiar face to Thurrock Nub News viewers. He keeps us entertained with a song and a joke. I suppose if there's going to be a new Mr. Tilbury after Peter, this gentleman, Les, would be the man. Les, your thoughts of Peter?
Sad day, losing Peter. A good friend and a great bloke for Tilbury Riverside project and for Tilbury. He'll be sadly missed by us and his family.
Some of the things that he did for Tilbury that you can... I mean, obviously the lights.
Everything. When we're standing here now, his epitaph really. Tilbury lights was turned on every year, and still are. Tilbury Riverside project and everything, Peter. He wouldn't say no for an answer. If he was told no, then he'd dig deeper until he got a yes.
And he was a man of great dignity as well. I mean, I met him a few times in later years, and I remember once down at the terminal. He would always turn up. He was not well,
No.
and we all know he was affected with the Alzheimer's. But he was such an honest man. I remember walking up to him and saying, "Hello, Peter, how are you?" And he just smiled and he said, "I'm really sorry." He said, "I don't know who you are," but he had no. There was no edge to him. He would say sorry, and he spoke with dignity, and he explained he was thinking about other people, and so we weren't at unease.
And that's what he's like with Tilbury. Tilbury just thought of Tilbury people all the time, not for himself at all. And getting the MBE was just the crowning glory for Peter.
Yeah.
For us as well to know Peter was recognised by.
And the Queen's Award as well came along later, so
Fantastic,
you know,
yes,
which is all down to him. So
wonderful man.
and I'm sure he'll be remembered at the lights this year, in some way, shape, or form.
Some memorial. Couldn't not be because he's. If it wasn't for him, the lights wouldn't be here. We had 500 people standing around this Civic Square every year because of Peter.
Yeah.
And the kiddies and everything.
And I'm sure you'll have a song for him at some point in time.
Yes, without doubt.
Well, as I say, keep the mantle going of Tilbury, and Tilbury is a great place. When I came to Thurrock in 2004, I came down here and got a lovely welcome. For those who know me, it's a little bit like Yorkshire down here, which is the nicest thing I can say about Tilbury. Good people, and Peter was one of the finest. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely. I shall wander round and we'll see.
Hello, darling. Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. A wonderful memorial in Tilbury. The finest in Thurrock, I think. There's another familiar face here, Councillor Fraser Massey from East Tilbury, but I'll stop and have a... You got time for a quick word? You knew Peter?
I've met him, many times. First met him when he was doing the Tilbury Riverside project over near the terminal. I was in my 20s back then, so it's came back quite a while. Some of the things he's done for this town are amazing, and really lasting legacy of the lives he's changed and the impact he's made. It's so sad that that he's passed away. He's a real big loss to the town.
Yeah, a couple of people I was just talking to were saying it will be almost certain that there'll be some sort of permanent memorial, and obviously as a man in the know at the council, I'm sure you'll be pressing for something to be done to recognise him.
Yeah, I think anyone that's received the Queen's Award and the MBE, as you just mentioned, that needs to be remembered. Few and far between people like Peter.
Yeah.
And doing a lasting legacy of lives.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you very much indeed. People talk about Tilbury and it generally gets a bad press, but I remember being here in the summer when the carnival took place, and it was wonderful. Les was, who we just spoke to, was there on that day, and loads of people came round and paraded around this square. We've got a very active community association. Tilbury is a place of, it's about its people really, its character, and it is, I always find it a smashing place. Of course, like everywhere, it's got its issues, it's got its problems, but overall the people are what define a place, and within Tilbury, the Tilbs as they call themselves, they're very special people. Good morning. Good morning. You have memories of Peter?
Oh yes.
Yeah? Anything in particular?
Well, he was just a very nice man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did such a lot for the town?
He did. He did a lot for Tilbury, didn't he?
And he wrote a book about Tilbury, didn't he?
I didn't know that. I'll have to look that one up. Yeah. Yeah, good. Well, thank you for turning out to pay respects. Thank you. Looking across the road there, one of the little gems in Tilbury, the Sunshine Centre, supporting disabled children and their families. And if I let you into a little secret, for a number of years, every year Father Christmas has come into town on a vintage steam engine and has had a little den within the Sunshine Centre with a wonderful team of elves to support him. And I couldn't possibly tell you who Father Christmas is, but I know that Father Christmas really enjoyed all his visits to Tilbury. It was tremendous. The former town's fire station, and this of course is something of a sore point, controversy. It's been used for community, for a gymnasium. Thurrock Council want to take it down and build a new medical centre for Tilbury here. A lot of merit in that scheme. I don't think it's necessarily been sold to the Tilbury community as well as it should be, and maybe not enough people have been talked to, but This is a building that certainly, or a site that could help with the regeneration of Tilbury. And as we can see from the buildings in front of us, people are investing in Tilbury, people are living here. And sadly a sign of some of the degradation of the town, unfortunately. I don't think Tilbury has a pub anymore. Some people probably think that's a good thing. As ever with these things, it does seem we're running a little late, but I'm sure that doesn't matter. Peter's very much worth waiting for. It is a beautiful day. The work goes on. Seems strange when you visit a place. I, as I say, came to Thurrock in 2004 to edit the Thurrock Gazette. I remember sitting in the planning meetings when this particular complex, very controversial at the time, was first discussed. And here it is now, part of the fabric of the town, of course. Things change. Things always do, things always will. Somebody's just asked, what is the live feed about? Well, the live feed, although it's a little quiet at the moment, is about a town, or some members of a town, turning out to say farewell to a gentleman called Peter Hewitt, MBE, a gentleman who became known as Mr. Tilbury for his decades of work for the town, who sought for the regeneration of the town, worked very hard, a man who I think, as one lady just said to me a few minutes ago, very difficult to say no to. When Peter wanted something for Tilbury, he went out and tried to get it. Sadly, Peter passed away at the beginning of May. And as with all these things at this moment, it takes time for a funeral to take place, and the conventional funerals and tributes that we would like to pay can't happen because of coronavirus. So the cortege will be, should have left now and be on its way to us, and then from here we'll go up to Chadwell St Mary, where Peter will be laid to rest. And we said we'd come down and see, and we're still waiting. So that's why I'm here live. I'm sort of tempted to take a break, but maybe we'll wander back to where the majority of people are and see if there are any more memories of Peter. Another familiar face, another man I'm sure with many memories of Peter. Yeah, tell us a story about Peter then.
What's about Peter? He's never had a glass half full. He's always 75% full.
Yeah.
Wherever he went, he always done that and a bit more.
Yeah, and you worked with him on the Riverside project for a long time?
Well, when I joined it, he was only a casual visitor, but I know him from the full police.
Yeah. Oh, from the police days, yeah. The laughing policeman?
What often, yes.
Great stuff, thank you. So, how's things with you? I mean, yeah. I mean, you've been a breath of fresh air for Tilbury with all your songs and your funny stories, and
I think if I hadn't had the phone, I'd never had a phone before January, and I bought my kids made me buy a phone, and I'm glad I did because I could do everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cases caught. I've got a tea bag box, and on top of that I've got a biscuit tin, and on top of that I've got my iPad, and then in front of that I've got my phone, and that's where I took my record.
That's it. Well,
that's my studio, my kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah. And have you had a word from Harry Redknapp yet?
I don't like jam Roddy Pony, so he doesn't want to know me.
Oh,
I can see that look like this myself.
Yeah.
So it is. So I'm trying his money. I think he wished he lived in Tilbury.
I'm sure he did. I'll tell you what, Tilbury's produced some good footballers as well over the years. Yeah, yeah.
Very, very good ones,
Yeah.
I wasn't one of them, I'm afraid.
Ah, well, never mind.
No.
But TV star as well. I saw, funny enough, I switched on the telly the other night. I was channel hopping, and there you were on the old valuation thing, telling people.
Flog It, yeah.
On Flog It.
Very nice man. Very good people.
Yeah.
Good everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a good thing for Tilbury.
Yeah, very, very nice. Yes.
Excellent, excellent.
Lovely,
Yeah.
I don't know where he is. I think he's missed us. I think he might be in Canberra Square. He would have got Civic.
I'm sure he'll be along.
It's a nice turnout as well. I know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard really because I haven't been out. This is the first time I've been out the house for 10 weeks, coming up with 11 weeks.
Really?
on Friday.
Well,
So for me to see people, it's nice. But
yeah, well,
just
stay safe. That's the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And you, let me ask about you. How are you?
I'm good, and you know, well, but let's not talk about that. We're live to the world now, so I'm okay. Yes, I'm fine. And you know, what is, as you know, sometimes you find out friendships and things like that, which is really good. And there are some great people that I know, and lots of people spot me. Funnily enough, yesterday was the third year anniversary of the launch of the Thurrock Independent newspaper. So I said to one of my good friends, who I believe is watching now, I said, "Do you know where we were this time 3 years ago? We were having a glass of champagne and a bite to celebrate the launch." I said, "That went well, didn't it?" But so you've got to try these things, of course, you know. And
people are trying. I mean, once again, I've been watching your hub news and everything, and it's enlightening. I mean, when you went up and see the tip, I mean, I couldn't believe that. I mean, I couldn't have got up and seen that, so it was nice to see.
Yeah, well, that's kind of you to say. I mean, that's what Nub News is all about, is actually being here on events like this and showing that we care about, and that's a bit trite to say show we care, but I think communities across Thurrock, not just in Tilbury, there are some great communities, and generally they get a bad press, and people always want to talk about the bad things. And I mean, young people, for example, generally don't get a great press, and yet I know day in, day out, week in, week out, I'm writing stories about young people who are doing a fantastic, people like Princess Trust, for example.
I'll say to you now, I do the Christmas lights here every year, and we've done a picnic on the park last year with the kiddies, all kiddies. You know, I compared it, but it's all kiddies. And the talent was fantastic. We had Irish dancers. We had in Tilbury, the Irish dancers. 3 dancers went to the World Championships last year. 2 of them come third in the World Championships, and 1 of them won. In the age group. A world champion in our Irish club in Tilbury, and she was on our stage at Christmas and picnic in the park. People don't know the talent. It's in everywhere, but in Tilbury especially, it's fantastic. We've got a woman in Feeding Norway. She's European Jiu-Jitsu champion. Now, I didn't know until I went to the award ceremony at Bimmy, and I sat to the door, and I sat with her at the table. And to know that, but I didn't know, and nobody else knows. So it's just.
And there is. I remember last summer, and it's a shame that we can't do it this year. The carnival. And I think I interviewed you then on the carnival day, and that was great, wasn't it? To see the rebirth of that.
Well, that will be hopefully next year now, because it wasn't going to be this year anyway. So it'll be next year, biannual, I think.
Yeah.
But as I said, all the dance companies, you've got Brooke doing the dance, you've got Elite Dance, you've got the dance group, the Scruttons. I mean, they're all so fantastic. If I've missed anyone out, I'm sorry, but as I said, fantastic with the kiddies. The majorettes, you know, and they're all Tilbury kiddies, and all want to do stuff. And they do get bad press.
Yeah, I think that's probably why Peter, you see, even now he's thinking about it. He thought, well, let Les tell the world how great Tilbury is. So I'll hang about a bit and give him a stage. They've come to see me, but let's talk about how great Tilbury is. So he's still promoting Tilbury, and that was good. Yeah.
And it's nice. If it wasn't for volunteers, no one would run.
Yeah.
And Tilbury's got so many great volunteers that people don't see. You know, in the hub, people are all volunteering themselves in the hub.
Yeah.
To Riverside Project is all people. All volunteers.
Yeah. Sorry, I came down to the hub probably a couple of months ago now, and did a little broadcast there and met someone. I'm trying to think, and to my shame, I can't remember the gentleman and the lady who were the volunteers, and they embody. This is down in the hub in Tilbury, who are telling people what to do, and he just said, if anybody who comes to this hub, they'll go out with a smile on their face, which I thought was a really nice sentiment to have. I know.
I mean, people still walk by, and you've got young Chrissy Talbot sitting up there every day, you know, welcoming people, and he's always got a smile on his face. You know, so people walk in there a bit down, and the first thing they see is Chrissy just smiling at them.
Yeah.
And they're making them a cup of tea and everything. So
yeah, they do make a very nice cup of tea. I can testify to that. Yeah.
Yeah. The library's a big thing to Tilbury.
Yeah.
So
good.
When you see things dying in Tilbury, there's still things just dusting up. Waiting to
yeah. And there are lots of people still coming in. I was just I walked around showing people some of the new buildings. There are people still coming to Tilbury. It's you know, I'm not sure the infrastructure's there to support it, but
I think everyone I talk to, I mean, I haven't talked to 5 months, but everyone I've talked to, they like Tilbury. They love Tilbury. Like, you know what I mean? We've heard bad things about Tilbury. When we've moved into Tilbury, it's fantastic. The community in Tilbury is wonderful. It's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, well, we know you do, but
if I won the lottery, I might move to East Tilbury.
If I won the lottery, I'd move to East Tilbury. I shall tell that to the East Tilbury councillor over there. He's the upmarket end of the operation.
I've got enough money to move to West Tilbury.
Dear, lovely, lovely. Okay, thanks once again. I'll let you go. Hopefully, Peter will be here soon. Thank you. Sorry, we were cut off earlier on in midstream. I don't know what happened, the technologies. I was just talking to you in general terms about the Riverside project and your hopes and aspirations for the future.
Yeah, it's quite a difficult question, Neil, to answer because, as you know, we do a lot of things with the community. There's all our guided walks, open days, quiz nights. We was planning the summer festival for August 20th, and I still booked everything, but I really can't see that going ahead now. And the Christmas lights, you know, we're even concerned about the lights. They will go up, but whether we'll have a fabulous community here with us or not, I don't know.
Okay. And of course, when you talk about Tilbury, you always get a lot of support, I think, from the Port of Tilbury. I think it would be good to mention them. They do an awful lot for the local economy and for local people.
They really do. They are actually supporting my role at the moment.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, it looks like we're ready for Peter. Sure, you can hear the applause ringing out for Mr. Tilbury. The laughing policeman, Mr. Tilbury, Peter Hewitt, MBE, family man, popular man. Rest in peace, Peter, and thank you from the communities of Tilbury and Thurrock for everything that you have done.